Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Now everything is ready for the commencement of the 2024 F1 season, and pre-season testing was held from the 21st to the 23rd of February at the Bahrain International Circuit to allow the opportunity for the teams to fine-tune their 2024 challenges. So a lot of things happened there, and this is our review about pre-season testing. But before diving deep into the content, remember to hit the subscribe button and bell icon for more interesting videos. On the first day of testing, Mercedes driver George Russell was the first to hit the circuit with their all-new W15 Challenger, which is expected to be a powerful package that can challenge the title. However, he was the only Mercedes driver to participate in the first day of testing, as the Brackley-based team had decided to field their champion driver, Lewis Hamilton, on the second day after collecting enough aerodynamic data. Red Bull also used a single pilot on the first day, as Perez was rested for the entire day. Verstappen couldn't wait till the Bahrain Grand Prix to unleash the potential of his challengers and performed some overtaking against drivers like Charles Leclerc and George Russell. There was a big discussion over the side pod design of RB20 before pre-season testing due to their minimalist inlet approach similar to Mercedes. However, the package that they brought to the pre-season testing was different and composed of two inlet openings. Now there is a big hype around the McLaren team as a potential title contender with what they delivered in the second half of the 2023 season. In the morning session, Piastri was handed over the testing duties, and he helped the engineers to collect a good set of aerodynamic data by driving his MCL38 at a decent pace. Then, Norris was fielded for the evening session, and he justified the hype around his team by recording the second-best lap time of the day. In the latter stage of the 2023 season, the Ferrari team delivered some good performances, especially during qualifying sessions, clearly outpacing the Red Bull. Tifosi expects that team will bring that momentum to the upcoming season, challenging the Red Bull's dominance in the sport. Leclerc was the first Ferrari driver to arrive the circuit with their SF24 package, and he covered the entire morning session before handing over the duties to Sainz in the afternoon. The Spaniard was driving with a better pace throughout the evening session, clearly outpacing the lap times of Leclerc. Even though there is no big hype around the Aston Martin F1 team, their impact on the championship can't be neglected with the surprising achievements that they made at the beginning of the 2023 season. AMR 24 can be seen as a good evolution of its predecessor, and both the Aston Martin drivers set some good lap times during the first day of testing. Coming with two attractive liveries and a lot of changes after the rebranding process, most of the F1 fans wanted to know about the on-track performance of the Kickoff and RB teams. Either Guan Yu Zhou or Valtteri Bottas were not able to deliver any promising performance in the first day of testing. However, RB driver Daniel Ricciardo was able to emerge as the fourth fastest driver of the day, hinting about the presence of enough pace within its challenger after the team's new close partnership with Red Bull. But Tsunoda didn't want to deliver anything special other than assisting his engineers to collect a good set of data. The testing plans of Williams didn't go as well as they planned due to the technical issues in their cars. Alexander Albon had to stop his FW46 due to an issue with his fuel pump during the morning session. Then in the evening, Logan Sargent took over the testing duties and experienced the first spin of the day. Even though his car spun through the gravel trap, Sargent was lucky to save it without experiencing a big damage. Out of the two Alpine drivers, Pierre Gasly was able to deliver a decent performance with this package by recording the fifth best lap time of the day. But his teammate, Esteban Ocon, remained at the bottom of the timesheet at the end of the first day. With the poor form of the Haas F1 team over the last few seasons, fans are not very hopeful about the performance of the US-based racing outfit. Their 2024 package also didn't show any competitiveness, as both Magnussen and Hülkenberg remained in the bottom part of the timesheet, hinting about one more poor season. On the second day, 17 drivers participated in pre-season testing as Verstappen, Russell and Albon were rested by their respective teams, fielding only a single driver. After staying out of the track for the entire first day, drivers like Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton joined the testing party behind Alonso, who started the procedures of the second day. However, the morning session had to be red flagged after dislodging a loose drain cover by Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton went over that dislodged drain cover, spreading debris over the track, and Leclerc ran over that debris in the subsequent lap, damaging his floor. It was a costly damage for the Ferrari team as the damaged floor had to be replaced with a new one. There was a lengthy delay in resuming the testing as the circuit staff took more time to solve the problems in the circuit. The only option for the race control was to extend the evening session by 1 hour to give more time for the teams to cover that time loss. Even though Verstappen drove his RB20 throughout the first day without any issues, Perez experienced few issues with his challenger. Just after the commencement of the morning session, he had to come back to the pits as there was an overheating issue in his brakes. Then, in the evening, he experienced a power loss as well. But luckily, his RB20 needed only short repairs on both of those occasions, and Sergio Perez enjoyed a successful testing session overall. Carlos Sainz gave some hints about the success of the SF24 package up to a considerable extent by recording the fastest lap time of the day, even 0.7 of seconds faster than Sergio Perez's RB20. After staying out of the track for the entire first day, Lewis Hamilton enjoyed a successful testing session by recording the third fastest lap time of the day with his W15. As Russell was rested for the second day, the 7-time world champion got the opportunity to spend his time on track throughout the second day. Out of the two McLaren drivers, senior man Lando Norris recorded much faster lap times than his young teammate Oscar Piastri, becoming the 4th fastest driver of the day. Even though Fernando Alonso was the most successful driver out of the Aston Martin duo in the last season, his teammate Lance Stroll was able to beat him by lap time in the first 2 days of the pre-season testing. Continuing his stellar form for the second day, Daniel Ricciardo was among the fastest lap time scorers of the day, even though the form his teammate Yuki Tsunoda was upset. Tsunoda reserved a spot at the bottom of the timesheet alongside with Haas duo. Williams appeared to have solved their issues when coming to the second day, and Logan Sargent delivered some decent lap times, good enough for P11 in the absence of his teammate Alexander Albon. Alpine drivers also showed similar performances, finding their places in the midfield. On the final day of testing, all the drivers participated in the testing program, except Logan Sargent, who spent the entire second day with his FW46. Once again, a drain cover was dislodged, red flagging the morning session. So the session was limited to half an hour, and the race control decided to remove the lunch break from the schedule to cover that time loss. This time, unlucky one to dislodge the drain cover was Sergio Perez, and Red Bull staff carried out a full investigation with the support of Red Bull designer Adrian Newey to check whether his floor was damaged. They found that the car had experienced only minor damages, and the Red Bull team was lucky to avoid an expensive repair. Once again, Carlos Sainz delivered some fast laps with the help of his SF24, and his lap time was challenged to a considerable extent by the Red Bull driver Sergio Perez. However, these lap times were easily beaten by the majority of the drivers who joined the testing in the evening. Charles Leclerc scored the fastest lap time of the day by recording a lap time of 1:30.322 seconds. Russell, who was rested for the second day, broke into the top of the timesheets as the second fastest driver of the day. Joe added a surprise to the third day by recording the third fastest lap at the end of the day, beating the lap time of Max Verstappen as well. When we analyze the lap times of the 3 days, it is difficult to find an exact relationship between them, as most of the top teams tried to hide the true capabilities of their challengers. However, it can be said that teams like McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari are faster than predicted, and they can be a big challenge to the Red Bull team to maintain their dominance. Anyhow, it is difficult to go for full predictions based on these lap times, as teams run their cars on different engine modes, fuel levels, and tire compounds which are largely unknown. So the comparison is more complex, and it is hard to predict exactly till the first qualifying session of the season, which is set to be held on the 1st of March.